Zero. Hello, everybody. How you doing today? It's a new day. It's a fresh day. I hope you're up, shaking, and baking. Today, I've got on the Powerful Podcast, Mr. Hamza Hashime. You know, I always say that all the guests on the podcast are stellar. That means they are elite people. They are kicking ass at whatever it is that they're doing. I met Hamza online thanks to the internet. Did we meet in person at first at a conference in London, right? In Bromley. Were you at that conference?
Yes, we did, Paul. Yes, we met at Daniel Moses' event.
Daniel Moses event in Bromley, and then we took up the conversation via the internet, and I joined your community, the One Club. If you're not there, you should check out the One Club community. So towards the end of the year, I just said to myself, I said, you know what? There's an African proverb that says that if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go with people. There is no self-made man or woman on the earth. Everybody who's successful at anything, they had a team. The team may not be visible, but they had people that helped them. So Hamza is a curator of a great community here in the UK, and I think it's global. And I just want us to talk about the importance of community for entrepreneurs, how it helps our mental health, how it helps our prosperity, and how it helps our personal growth. Welcome to the Powerful Podcast, Mr. Hamza. How's it going, bro?
Thank you so much, Paul. I love it. I love your energy. I love the excitement. I love the vibe that you have. This is what people should be like, right? So this is what I do in the community. I bring in excitement. I make sure that everybody's having a fantastic time while building great relationships and compassionate ones as well, that take them really far. I think these kind of collaborations, when you curate them the right way, with energy, with excitement, and from heart, and just being just human, works really, really well. So yeah, I mean, the community of the One Club is absolutely fantastic. And the reason for that, and we've been recognized one of the top 7 private members clubs in London and one of the fastest growing to ever exist. And the reason for that is that private members clubs, when they first started, the idea was collaboration, was get people together.
Yeah.
But that never really happened because the revenue that came into those clubs went back into the venue. And then so they never had that time or the money to put it back into the members. So we turned it upside down and we said, actually, let's form a community that's not focused on the venue, but rather focused on the members. Let's really dissect what it is that they want, what they're looking for, and figure out. And sometimes they don't even know what they're looking for. Through the dissection, they figure it out with us. And then we say, actually, you should speak to this person, that person, and we just get people together. And it's been a truly game changer for me.
This is so good. This is so good. Fantastic. Hamza, what inspired you to, or what triggered it for you to go in the path of community? Why didn't you just go alone in business?
Sure. So just to summarize my life. So I'm a qualified civil engineer. I qualified in 2012-ish. And then I got really sick. So they told me I had about 4 years to live, all of this stuff. So then that was fine. And then 4 years that, so I said, you know what, I'm not going to have that. Then I changed my life around. So I took about 4 years out. I went into like £250,000 worth of debt, trying to figure out what's going on with me. Then eventually I got to a point where through alternative medicine, I got my life back. Then obviously the whole engineering mindset, all of that stuff went away. But the mindset that I built through my health journey was a little bit like the entrepreneurial mindset, because I had to find ways of trying to keep alive and figuring out how I'm going to have that long lifespan. So then that entrepreneurial mindset was kind of built through that. So when I turned everything around, when I got my first desk job with Akshay through it was a property business. It was a startup as well. I learned so much, and because I had so many years to catch up to, I thought, you know what? Let me do everything as I can to fast track, catalyze my journey, to pay off my debts, and to really get to a point where I can just live a normal life. Then once I got to that, I broke sales records. I sold the best property in my borough, got the highest commission, paid off my loans, all of that stuff. Then I said, now I've got the entrepreneurial mindset. I know sales. I've got my health back. How do I help people? What's really important? How can I do that? So then
The
I
question
thought,
wasn't how
you know,
do
the
I
only
help
way to do that.
people? It's very powerful.
Exactly. Where's the value?
How do I
Right?
help
So how
people?
do I add value? So And then, so actually was looking to build a network of people where they can come together and work. And he reached out to me and said, "Look, you're a great relationship builder. Let's do
This is
something
very
together." And that was the
powerful.
perfect timing. So I said,
From your mess,
"Absolutely,
you got a
let's get in there."
message. And from when you
Yeah,
went,
so I thought if I can build a massive community, a big enough community where I can help people reverse their condition or help understand or catalyze their journey to good health and well-being, then why not? Then money wasn't so important to me. So now I'm on that journey where I want to build a massive network so I can share my knowledge of what I went through, how to build cells, how to build wealth, how to build health, and how to bring people together. Because, nearly losing my life, that compassionate side, I really tapped into that as well. And I realized life is all about just connecting. We're social beings. Let's connect. Let's see what we can do together. Let's get creative. Let's get curious. And then now, a few years down the line, I'm in a position where I'm meeting some amazing people, helping some amazing people, learning even more, and people meeting people like yourself, Paul. And it's truly amazing.
this is so powerful. This is so powerful. I like the way you approach your health like an entrepreneur. It's very, very powerful. Very, very powerful.
Thanks. Yeah, I had to, right? I
Yeah.
had to. The doctors, I tried all the medications. The doctor said we're probably, you can only go through so many transfusions until something goes wrong. But then they never talked about nutrition. They never talked about alternative medicines. So that's what then I started exploring. Being the eldest in my family, having my mom, and I live with my mom and my younger sister. There was a lot of pressure, as you already know, cultural. The cultural background, the cultural differences. It's when you have a lot of pressure at home, it just makes everything more difficult. But then you know what they say, pressure makes diamonds, and you
That's
gotta,
right. That's right.
yeah, so you gotta make it out some way.
That's
You
right.
gotta find a way.
That's right. That's right. From your experience in being a curator, an organizer, an owner of a community, the people who do well in communities, what are some of the traits in them? What have you observed in people who don't just take advantage of the community? They're there, they contribute, and then they also make progress off the back of the community. What are some of the traits you see in those kinds of people?
I always say this, Paul. You can go break doors, you can break barriers to get to where you want. But the most important thing is to break your own front. When you break your own front, you become a little bit vulnerable. The real passion comes out, and compassion comes out also. And then at that point, there's magic within conversations within those communities. And then great relationships are built, and then great business is built after that. So I always say, never think about where the money is or where the business is. First, think about how you're having that conversation with other people. So the ones that do really well, they're just themselves. They just go into themselves and they just bring that passion out without putting any front. And that's how we
Very
select
good.
people. We select them with the right mindset, the right
Very good.
characteristics. And then when you get these people together, it just happens, it's just organic.
Very, very powerful. What Tell me about when you made your first sale. I always like to ask people that question. How long were you in the company for when you closed your first sale in real estate? The reason why I'm asking that question is because there's someone watching us right now, and the person is saying, "Gee, I've been in this for 6 months. I've been in this for 8 months. I haven't closed a sale. I want to give up." How long did it take you to close your first sale, and how did that make you feel?
So my journey was a little bit different because there was no auctions department in the online state agency I joined, and they were struggling to make that sale. So they struggled for about a good 6 months, right? So then when I came in, my first sale I think came within the first hour. I think it was about an hour and 45 minutes,
Wow.
because and the reason for that is because the person that I took the property on, he was eager to sell. It was an auction property, and I built a really good relationship with him. I said, let's start the price low, and then let's get as many people as possible, get them to battle against each other, and get you what you want. And then yeah, it was just you see, it's never about the sell. It's never about how quickly you sell it or how much you sell for. It's always about the relationship you build behind that sale and what that process was. If you get that process right, your first sale is super quick. So my first sale, when as soon as I got the property on, was within about an hour and 45 minutes. But to get that property on, it took me about a month or so. So yeah.
Speaking about sales process, I heard you talking about process. What part of the sales process do you bet on the most? For some people, it's prospecting. For some people, it's follow up. For some people, it's networking. For some people, it's content. For some people, it's handling objection. In your own experience, what part of the process would you bet on heavily because it has helped you?
Yeah, so as you already know, it's a mixture of everything. The sales process is a bit of everything put together. But the part that I really push is that part where you relationship build with that person. Really understand why they want to sell, why you're selling for them. What is it that they want? So you're trying to figure out and dissect where is the value for them to go through this transaction, right? And if the value is strong enough and you have the integrity and to follow that through, then you make that sell. So for me, is trying to figure out who my client is and building that relationship in such a way where I have full understanding of why they're going through their process. And that's what I bet on. Because the moment I find that out, then everything else just becomes fairly easy.
Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Very powerful. Hamza, the doctors told you that you've got 4 years to live and you fought it and you are here today. That experience, what did that teach you about fighting for your life and for your dreams?
Good question. That
Because there's
taught
somebody
me.
watching us right now. They don't have that kind of sentence on their lives, and yet they've given up on themselves. What did that experience teach you about the verdict of a doctor that you said, no, I'm going to reverse this? What did that teach you?
Yeah, so that taught me that impossible is not a word.
Come on, man.
Impossible doesn't mean nothing.
Come on, man. Ah, you can say that again, brother. Whoa.
Exactly. So it's nothing is impossible. You can, if you had said we'll be sending, photos through airdrop like 20 years ago, people would laugh at us, right?
Impossible
If
is
you
not a
say
word.
there's so many things that could have happened 20 years
Come
ago,
on, man.
people would just laugh at you and they would be like, no, that's impossible. But 20 years down the line, you can see that that's not impossible. Lots of
Yes.
things are possible. You can do so
Yes.
much. And it's the same thing with human beings. It's the same thing with health. You cannot go see a doctor and then they say, and they're a gastro doctor and they talk about the stomach, but then your problem has come from somewhere else. They just simply don't know about the heart. They don't know about the brain. So, you got to see the right people, put things together. Every single person is very unique. So when you put the puzzles together, you can build a roadmap. When the roadmap is built, then you can see the right specialist to then start building the blocks to get your health back. So yeah, for me, it was just about, it's like entrepreneurship. You have to fail. If somebody was to say, put a flag, if you were to put a flag on top of a mountain, what would it say? I would say it would be a mixture between failing and success. We'll probably call it FaceX or whatever, right? So it's like,
Powerful.
without failure, there's no success. And my failure, Paul, is my best friend. Every time I fail, I celebrate because
Come on,
I know
man.
I've got a step closer to where I want to be.
Wow. That's very
And
powerful. I
that's the
talked about some
mindset my health is taught me.
powerful mindset. I did NLP, neuro linguistic programming. I did the breakthrough experience in Dubai with a guy with a coaching company called Robert Shimmick Coaching Institute in Dubai. And one of the tenets of NLP, neuro linguistic programming, is that one of the presuppositions is that there are no failures, there is only feedback.
Yeah.
That's very, very liberating. That there are no failures, there is only feedback.
Yeah.
Very, very liberating
Absolutely.
too. So when you were saying that, it's so beautiful about that. Talk to us a bit about the One Club, because I'm going to put a show notes. I'm going to put a link to join the One Club in the show notes at no fee. At no fee. So I'm just doing that because I believe in what One Club is doing. And I believe in the
Thank you.
power of community. So some question that some people may be asking is, if I'm in Africa, if I'm in Dubai, where I have a lot of clients as well, all right, if I'm in America, can I join the One Club? All those kinds of questions. How do people get on the One Club, and why is the One Club so important for a community like that for people? Yeah.
Absolutely. So if I could put it into one sentence, the One Club is a home amongst homes. So
Mm,
wherever you go in the world, we want everybody to have a place to go where they feel like home. So the entrepreneurial journey is incredibly lonely. We
come
recognize
on,
it.
man. You can say that
So
again. Yeah.
going through my journey, going through Akshay's journey, Danu's journey, we understand how lonely it is. And no matter what we tried, we went to so many different communities, we tried so many different private members clubs, but that loneliness never seemed to go away. Again, one of the main reasons for that is because these communities, the revenue that came into their business went back into the venue, not so
Mm,
much on their members. So what One Club is that we recognize that, right? So we say, actually, let's get lots of partner clubs. Let's bring lots of different communities together.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
now we've got about 40 different private members clubs of partners. So our
That's a
members can
lot.
access
40
those
different
places.
private member club in the
Yeah,
UK.
exactly. In the UK, mostly in London. And then
That's
there's a couple
massive,
in
man.
Dubai. Exactly. We're the only ones doing this. So we did that through the trust that we built through these partners, and
Mhm.
then they trust our vetting process, our application process, so they accept our members accessing their venues either for free or through a day rate. And this is really powerful because now you're not just getting individuals coming together within a community, you're getting communities to come together. So when we're ready to actually, before I say that, Paul, I want to put it like an onion, right? We don't, and I'll be totally honest with you, from the One Club, we don't know what that core of that onion looks like. But we know
Hmm.
that every time we peel a layer, we want to do it as efficiently and as properly as possible. And then so when we get closer to that core, we'll be like, we'll know what to do. We'll know what social and positive impact looks like. We know what communities coming together looks like. We don't care right now about steps 10, 11, 12. We care about steps 6, 7, 8, and 9, right? Because we started off at 1, 2, 3. We didn't care about 4 and 5. So every time we go through steps, then we figure out the next step. But we figure it out as a collective with our members. We get our members to join us. We'll get feedback sessions and we ask them, what do you guys want? What do you want the next 6 months to be like? What do you want the next 12 months to be like? So this then helps really great collaborations. This helps the relationship building, and this helps get the right people into the community as well. So our aim is to have 10 different chapters across the globe. So we're soon to launch in Dubai, then probably Milan, LA, New York, etc., and have about 51,111 members in total. So wherever our members go, we'll have lots of different private members club partners, and they will always have a home, a community to go to wherever they are in the world. So for us, it's bridging that gap between people who feel super lonely and people who have got great traction, bring them together and get them to collaborate and make magic happen, right? So that's what entrepreneurship is all about.
So powerful. So powerful. What keeps you up at night these days? What
My
keep, what keeps you up at night as an entrepreneur these days? Because I want people to know that, look, you still have your struggles, you still have your challenges. You're not Superman. You still deal with them. So what keeps you up at night in business, and how do you overcome them? Do you meditate? Do you go on a workout? Do you journal? What keeps
So
you
I
up at
have
night?
a very unique routine. So
Yeah.
I wake up at 5:30 in the morning. I do a lot of grounding. So I go into garden barefoot, and I walk around. I feel nature. I have 500 milliliters of purified water. So I look after myself. And then throughout the day, then I fast, I intermittent fast for about 8 hours or so. Then I have another 8 hours of gap. Then I fast again, all of that stuff. So it's like, yeah, so I do meditate. I follow a gluten-free, lectin-free diet, obviously because of my health stuff. So for me, it's really important to have, burnout is a crazy thing in entrepreneurship. And the
Yes. Is
reason
it?
most of the time entrepreneurs burn out is because they're either on a bad lifestyle, or they're always rushing to get things done. So they go for a quick sandwich and come back. That's not what I do. If you see me based on the health conditions that I've
That's
had,
right.
I'm relentless. I just continue all day long and I don't change. My mood doesn't change.
Exactly.
I'm steady the whole way through. And the reason for that is because of the fasting, because of the lectin-free diet, because of the meditation, because of the limbic system training, breath work and meditation. If you don't invest if I don't invest in myself, I can never invest in something else. It starts
Mm,
with yourself first. And I always say this, the greatest entrepreneurs, they invest in themselves. Or the ones that started becoming successful, they realize that they have to invest in themselves. So that's what they
this is
start
very
doing. That's
powerful.
why meditation is becoming so popular, right? So you start with yourself. My routine changes over time. So it's depending on what season it is, what kind of fruits are out. If it's pomegranate season, then I'll change my diet depending on the pomegranate, all of that stuff. So yeah, so
Mm,
that's what I'm soon to teach as well to a lot of
mm.
entrepreneurs and help them.
This is so powerful, man. This is so powerful. This is so powerful, Hamza. Because I journal every morning
Nice.
over a cup of coffee. I've done it for 10 years. My last son is 10. So he can tell you this is what my dad has been doing since I was born, including this morning. And the mental health that gives to me, it's amazing. It's
Absolutely.
amazing.
Journaling is
So I
fantastic.
really connect and I fully understand what you just said. Now it's very, very powerful.
Paul, the World Health Organization, they predict that there will be a mental health pandemic by 2030. And this is on the government website. And the
Wow.
reason for that is because conventionally, doctors and they don't know this information. So this is why we're heading that way. So people like yourself, people like me, people like the community of the One Club, we recognize what you need to make sure that doesn't happen. So this is what we need to push out there. We need to build that awareness. And journaling is one of those things. It's like we're social beings, and when you're busy at work, when you journal, you're kind of training your limbic system to then balance your endocrine system. So
Mm.
then your body, like, it just lets it out. You want things to flow through. So when you journal, is in essence, you're basically letting the stress flow through you and then go onto the paper. Whether that's, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Very powerful. And for those listening, journaling can be as simple as you had a great dinner with your family last night. Just write about it, that you're grateful that you all could sit on the table and just talk and write. I was taking my sons to school today. I said, are you grateful? You got a car that can take you to school when it's raining so you don't ride your bicycle in the rain. It's warm at home. You have a meal to eat. You have a warm family. So gratitude is such a powerful power. I've been married for 16 years, Hamza.
Nice.
16 years. And
Congrats.
every day I write in my journal, I'm grateful to God that I have an amazing wife. Every day. That keeps me sane. Hamza, as we
That's
begin to wrap this up, this has been a fascinating conversation. And I know that you are a person of personal development. What books do you think impacted you in 2023? Or what podcast do you think impacted you in 2023? For me, Win Hoffman's cold showers helped me a lot. I mean, the UK is cold for me to put cold shower on my body. It wasn't easy, but every time I do it, I come alive. I truly, 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 truly do come alive. I want to increase my meditation. I meditate and stop, meditate and stop. Over journaling, I do it every single day. So, what books or what practices really helped you in 2023?
nice. Yeah, I love Wim Hoffman's Wim Hof's whole ice cold baths and
Yeah.
showers. Is really can do wonders for your body. So for me, it was as I watched a lot of podcasts, especially during that time of my bad health. I watched Tom Bilyeu, I watched PBD, I watched
Andrew
Joe
Huberman. Do
Rogan.
you watch Andrew Huberman?
No, no, no. Actually, I haven't watched him actually, but I
You
know
would
of
love
him.
him.
But I haven't watched him any of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, it was about collective. It was about listening to as many people as possible. So over time, the knowledge I gained from Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Gundry, Amy Myers, all of these guys, when I put it together, it just changed my mindset. So for me, podcast, YouTube saved my life, Paul.
Hmm.
YouTube saved my life.
Wow. Wow. And I'm going to put this on YouTube again so you can save someone else's life.
Exactly. Without YouTube, I don't think I'll be here. That's my honest truth.
This is a serious confession you just made now. This is very big, very deep.
But
This
if
is
you
very
use it the right way, of course. If I watch jokes all day, obviously it's not the same thing, right?
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, when you get, there's so much information out there. There's misinformation, too much information, and there's wrong information, and there's the right information. How do you filter that? This is why
I
we're
think it's
part
your
of a
yeah. I
community of
think your
one.
intention helps you filter that.
Exactly.
This is why
Nice.
intention is so powerful.
Yeah.
Your intention just helps you to magnetize. Dan Sullivan said that your ear will only hear and your eyes will only see what your brain is looking for. No, I think that was deep. I'm
Absolutely.
gonna say that again.
Absolutely. And let me say something, Paul. If you want to be an entrepreneur with intent,
That's right. It's very powerful.
right?
It's very powerful,
It's
brother. Very powerful.
simple but so powerful.
Very, very powerful. I believe that. 100%. 100%. 100%.
Yeah,
Wow. Hamza, we're going to have a part two of this conversation. It's obvious.
for sure. For sure.
We're going to have a part two of this conversation.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking
Yes. I
forward to
mean,
it. There's
if you
some
can
great
come
stuff
live on
coming up.
Instagram, if you can even come live on Instagram tonight, I'm ready. If you can come live on Instagram tomorrow, I'm ready. So that more people on Instagram will hear, because this is going to go on YouTube, it's going to go on Spotify, it's going to go on Apple, but Instagram live as well. I've got 55,000 people. They should watch you. I don't know when you're available. If you're available tomorrow, I'm ready, man. 8 p.m. UK time, boom. Let the whole Africa hear you.
Well, whenever you need me, I'm here.
I'm ready, so
Whenever
let's
you
make it
need me.
happen tomorrow, man. 8 p.m., man.
Sure, let's do that.
Let's do that,
Thanks a
man.
lot, Paul.
Let's do that, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the record and then we'll talk a bit.
Sure.
This has
Thank you,
been a
Paul.
fascinating conversation, man. Wow.